Hey folks, and welcome back to Petalburg Woods, where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Let's talk some Pokemon. As always, this is the wonderful Pokemon podcast where we talk about the world surrounding Pokemon, the universe and culture and lore that we as humans engage with when we play these games, and all the intricacies that go into that. I'm your lovely host, Droomish.
And I'm your other lovely host, Capreo. How you doing? And welcome back to Petalburg Woods. Thanks so much for joining us. We're so glad you could make it. Dreamish, how you doing?
Really good. That was really radio-like of you.
Thank you so much.
I like what you did there. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing all right.
Wow.
Yeah, no complaints really. Just, having a great day.
I have some. We'll get there though.
You've got some complaints?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear them.
What have you been playing in the Pokemon world recently? How's Pokemon going for you, since that's what we talk about?
I fear the Emerald Battle Tower has gotten the best of me. I'm not fully throwing in the towel, but I am conceding, and I think I'm just going to take my team and head on over to the Ruby Sapphire Battle Tower. So I've got 3 Pokemon that I'm trying to Ribbon Master. I've got Sugimori the Shiny Charizard. I've got Theodore the Lapras, and I've got Kirby the Snorlax. And I've been trying for a while now to get I think the winning ribbon is the level 50 ribbon in the Battle Tower, right? So I've been trying to get...
called the winning ribbon?
Yeah, there's the winning ribbon and the victory ribbon. So the winning ribbon is for winning level 50 Battle Tower. Beyond...
It's for winning, you say?
It's for winning, believe it or not. And who'd thunk? And so you need to get a streak of at least 50, and then so you then need to you need to end with a streak of 56, because that's the end of round 8 or whatever. Anyway, the farthest I've gotten in Emerald so far with my squad, I think, is 42, and I just Emerald is too dastardly, I fear, and I really just want to move on at this point, and because there's a lot more ribbons for my 3 Pokemon to collect. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna, and I think it'll be nice too to actually use them as a team of 3 rather than use only one of them plus Latios and Suicune. So yeah, I think that's going to be the next thing that I do, is try to get the winning ribbon, which again is the level 50 ribbon, on the 3 of them. And then I think I'm going to move on and do Mount Battle in XD Gale of Darkness. So that's my Pokemon plan currently. What have you been up to?
Nothing that serious. I figured we would be here though with the tower. It gets us all one way or another, because it's evil and it cheats and it lies, and I'll always say that.
It cheats and it lies and it's conniving, and I hate it so much, but god damn it. I still need the gold symbol. So I'm not done with the Emerald Tower, but I am at least conceding a little bit for my ribbon fellas. Anyway. But that's me.
Well, I've been a bit of a mall walker recently.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a nice mall that is well, it's not shaped like a circle, but there's a circle within it. And especially on rainy days, I like going there. And I've been taking my Pokéwalker. I'm trying to get a Happiny, I think, is it, on, because I DNS'd in, because I'm kind of an off-script player. Yeah, I bend the rules every now and then.
You've been known.
I DNS'd in Amity Meadow.
Nice.
Just I think that was a Japanese only map, but it's supposed to be it's a model kind of that little park in Diamond and Pearl, which is cool. But it has a bunch of baby Pokemon, and it's fun, and I like going to the mall, and I like playing with my Pokéwalker, and I don't know, I was just delighted. Like I was like thinking about it while I was at the mall. It's like one of those moments where you you like gain sentience for an instant. I was just like, wow, this is awesome. Life is okay sometimes. It's not a never-ending cycle of doom. I'm at the mall and my Pokéwalker is Pokéwalking. What fun!
What fun! Did you
and
did you get a Pokéwalker? Like, did you get Heart Soul Silver at launch?
I did. Well, just a little bit after launch, but yeah, like right around there. I got that special box. It had like a little Lugia statue in it. I think.
Okay.
I had a little like black sleeve for it that I can't find for the life of me. It might have been thrown away because it was just a piece of silicone. Are you familiar with this?
Mm-mm.
It says Pokemon Soul Silver in a silver font, and it's a black silicone cover for a Pokéwalker. So you can have it be black, or you can have it be a Pokeball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They have several of these, and I've been trying to get them, but they are, I mean, they did a batch of them in Japan, and they are expensive as hell. I'm going on, like, the proxy auction sites, and it's like, I want, like, a Celebi. Don't, pronouncers, leave me alone, pronouncers, okay? It's called Celebi. That one in particular, because of Joe Cerebi is, like, I'm always getting dogged on for saying it like celery, but that's just life, unfortunately. Yeah. Anyways, hating over. They had they have a green Celebi sleeve. It's like a light green, and it says Celebi at the top, and it's cool. I think it feels all smooth and nice. Like it's got a real nice tactile thing going on. Maybe when I'm rich and famous, I can buy one of those. But the Pokéwalker is just fun. I was just having a great time with it. Also so sorry.
No. Well, I was just going to ask, like, when you had gotten Soul Silver when you were younger, did you take your Pokéwalker with you to, like, school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was the way to cheat. Like,
to cheat or to get
I mean,
steps?
you couldn't bring your DS and Pokemon to school.
No.
This was different.
But you could, yeah, the Pokéwalker could hang out in your pocket all day long.
Like, this was this was a specifically allowed activity at my school. I explained it to a teacher.
Oh, really?
How? Yeah. Well, I mean, it was always nice, and I try to do this now. I mean, it's inspirational, really. Like they'd ask me, "Is like, hey, what is that like? What are you doing with that like bullshit that you have in your pocket?" Like I was like, "I'm so glad you asked. Oh my goodness, an adult that is interested in my business. How sweet of you." And all the baggage that I guess eventually came with that. But it was like, I think it was specific. It was like I think he taught English and history, but he was just like, what are you playing with? Like, that looks like a toy. Like, it looks like a toy. And you are in, I mean, I think when it came out, it was like, I was in middle school, but I kept it with me well into high school, like at least until I graduated. I think at this point it was like, I was 1 year off of graduating, and he's like, that looks like a toy for small children, and you're playing with it. Like, what's the deal? And I was like, oh, it's actually like this is technically an exercise device. It's incentive based. Some incentives for keeping it real. So I bring it with me, and he's like, okay, yeah, that seems good. That seems like it's meaningful, and it was never like super disruptive. I kept the sound off, of course, and. Yeah. That's the great thing about the Pokéwalker is it's like it's not real time. Also, like because you could go at it all day. Like it would never leave my pocket on some days. And then when I got home, then I was like, okay, we need Elekid, we need Magnemite, we need Murkrow, and then we're running it back on this like 300-watt day that I had. And the mileage may vary, but yeah, I loved taking it to school. That was, I dare say, even something that made school not miserable all the time. I'll give the Pokéwalker some huge props for that.
Totally. And I mean, I remember taking it with me to school in middle school. I don't think I kept taking it with me into high school, but my first Pokéwalker unfortunately got left in a pants pocket and then went through the wash. So rest in peace to that one. But wait,
it died?
Yeah. Unfortunately, so
it's terrible.
That was the one that I would have gotten with my copy of Soul Silver, but I then got a second one that I still have to this day with my copy of Heart Gold. But yeah,
Nice.
I have very like fond memories of like, doing extra laps like around my school during breaks or whatever, or lunch, just like specifically to farm steps and get some more
Yeah.
watts, And yeah, I mean, I remember, I specifically remember getting, I believe, a self-destruct Munchlax, right? From
Yes.
there was like
Yes.
one of the walker
You may
routes
know him.
that, sorry?
I said you may know him.
I may. Yeah, from a certain video for sure. Um,
Interesting.
but yeah, I remember like downloading one of the event routes for sure. I feel like in the West we only really got one or two, but
I think we got two. They're both
mhm.
really good.
And I
Really
also
good.
I remember getting Bounce Magikarp, and I don't think that was from an event route or anything, but I don't know, something about Bounce Magikarp has always felt particularly nostalgic to me or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's just fun.
yeah, it's just fun, because it's almost like a precursor to Magikarp Jump in a way somehow. I don't know. Hindsight
Yeah.
being 2020. Anyway, all of that to say, I would like to do right now. Do you have your Pokéwalker like handy? Do you have it nearby?
It's in my bag.
It's in your bag? Okay.
Which
So
is right. Yeah, I got it.
I just wanted to, I'll tell you my steps for today. What were your steps for today?
Well, this isn't fair because
Why not? You had a
it's
mall
2
day.
a.m.
Well, no. Okay, not for today, for yesterday then, technically.
Okay, well,
Like I had 8,000 steps yesterday. Okay?
how am I supposed to know that? I didn't check.
So you can check in your trainer card. So you've got your main page. So like I've got 100 steps today somehow, and it's it's 2 for you, it's 3 for me. Atlantic Standard Time, by the way. But no, if you go to your trainer card, you can check your previous days. You can also check
idea.
You can check your total steps.
I have a lot of total steps, so I should go to -2 days.
No, you should go to -1. -1 is yesterday.
Okay, -1 days. Okay, today's was 2901.
Like to June 10th or June 9th.
We're like dating ourselves in real time.
That's fine. Who cares?
For the time that you asked me, it's 2901.
Okay, so like just shy of 3,000 today.
Yeah, just shy of 3,000
Okay.
at the mall.
Nice.
And I guess some change. But
Okay, and then what's your total steps?
Total steps, big number is 1668292.
Okay, I'm at 1,752,200. So 1.7 million for me.
Wow, okay.
And then
1.66, so we're close.
And then what's your total days?
512.
512 days?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've had this thing for like a year and a half.
Yeah, I've been working on it. I'm trying to get to Quiet Cave.
Okay. I've had mine for 1,519 days.
Whoa. That is a
What is that, like
large Pokéwalker.
4-ish years or so? Give or take? Anyway, I am still, after all this time, trying to get the final unlock for 100,000 watts. I'm above.
Yeah, me too.
I'm above 80,000 at this point. And I mean, in the amount of time that you've had yours, you've put in a lot more work than I have. Like, just in the amount of time, basically, you're like basically caught up to me in like in like a third of the days. So you be walking for real. But I'm going on a trip this coming weekend, and the last trip that I went on, I took my Pokéwalker with me and got like over 10,000 steps every day, which apparently you're supposed to do every day anyway. But I'm not.
Counting?
I'm not walking that much on a day to day. But yeah,
stuff to do.
Exactly. What's in your Pokéwalker right now?
It is a Magnemite.
Nice.
Shout out to my friend Magnemite.
Yeah, shout out Magnemite.
Put him in there because it's like I'm really with Magnemite. His gamer tag is Magnemite, and just so happens to be a Pokemon with the same name. It's crazy how life
what a
works.
coincidence! Yeah,
I know.
That's unreal.
we're already here, so I will get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Droomish lore, I guess, but like, this is like one of like 4 or 5 things. This is in I had a horrible. In short, I had a horrible time, middle school and high school.
Mm-hmm.
A really, really horrible time.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of 4 or 5 things where I was like, I don't know. This is some equivalent of maxing, where I was like, it's like, oh my god, I do not like despise going to school because I can get something else done while I'm there. This is not going to be a complete waste of time and emotional energy because I can do this walking. And just the tiniest bit easier to get out of bed because I mean just like, and that sounded great to me when I'm like 15. I mean this is, I think in some ways this is pretty like pretty rancid coping, but got me through the days just on the idea of like, oh, I can work on Pokemon. Going to school will allow me to work on Pokemon. I'm going to take a bunch of steps while I'm there. Like, who's to say if I have a horrible, rotten time? But, like, this could be the reason I get a Munchlax when I come home. So we did it, and we rocked it, and we kept our head up. Life was okay.
Yeah, as long as it, like,
okay.
It worked, It made you feel better about going to school at the time. That's all that matters. I had I think a similar experience, and I agree, like having the Pokéwalker, and then also like I had a handful of friends as well in my grade who would bring theirs too, and that was fun to, there's like limited connectivity between Pokéwalkers, but at least it's something.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And also for something that I mean, I think it will have happened by the time this episode actually comes out, but I've been working on VGC for a to be named event. Yeah, and I have some just the worst news. I actually think it's really fun. I'm sorry.
You think VGC is really fun?
Yeah, I think I hate to say it. I really, really do.
Why do you hate to say it? I'm having so much fun. Why is it a bad thing?
Because I wanted to hate it. I'm a categorical hater. I did not want to. I didn't really want to enjoy it, but like it's just fun. Like I love the. I mean, I feel like I've waxed before about how much I love the idea of it, but I was actually doing it because I was like setting up a team for the sake of this event. I was like, I gotta put a team together, and I did. Started playing games. It's like, oh, I like thinking like this. This is fun. Mm-hmm. This is good for me too, not just to watch and think about other people doing it. Maybe this game is fun.
Very interesting.
In this one specific capacity, I started having a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, so
well, that's good news.
I think, yeah, I'm going on an event soon before this episode comes out. I think.
Yes,
but I'm excited. I'll see where this road takes me because I expect to keep playing. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think what you're describing should have already happened by the time this episode comes out. Okay, but just in case, we'll keep it secret.
I'll link it.
Yeah, if it happened already, which it probably has, it'll be linked below. So check it out.
Dustox. Is it any good?
Many are wondering. No one knows.
Yeah, this is burning. Is it? Is it any good?
Is it? Do you know? I don't know.
Well, I've been thinking about it lately. I've been thinking about if Dustox is any good. We have a very, maybe a harebrained topic today is the best way of saying it, but stick with it. We have something powerful here. I think it's powerful.
I agree. I think it is
because
too. Almost as powerful as Dustox.
So let's set the stage here. Why are we talking about Dustox? Okay. So Capreo and I, and this is a long time ago. This was last year. It's October 1st, 2024. In the morning, you messaged me. Would you like to tell me what you messaged me? Let's go over these notes.
Yeah. I opened with Reddit is extremely funny, by the way.
Classic stuff.
So
they've been saying this.
I don't really check it out anymore, but I had been perusing and also posting, for what it's worth, on r/Pokemon Emerald. Who'da thunk, right? Anyway, and so I was on there one day and I saw just this incredible post.
Are you gonna read the post? It's your post.
Well, I mean, we said it already. Someone posted, I don't know, there was no, just like the title, I guess, just the title. Dustox. Is it any good? And then
it's like with an ellipses also.
Yeah, sorry.
Dustox,
I forgot the ellipsis. Sorry. Dustox. ... Is it any good? And then just a screenshot of like Dustox's, I don't know, like profile portrait in Pokemon Emerald. And then 102 upvotes and 32 comments. Anyway, you're seeing it on screen if you're watching on YouTube.
Part. Yeah, that was the fascinating part to me. This drove some serious engagement. Dustox, is it any good? 102 upvotes. Just on the... There's no conclusion about Dustox. The notion of Dustox drew 102. And then 32 people had something to say about it. 32 different voices on if Dustox is any good. Okay. Keep going.
Okay. Well, I said in quotes, is it any good? Does it contribute to the global GDP? What's its carbon footprint? Does it include new people in group conversations? Does it let people merge into traffic?
And I thought this was an awesome post. I said that's an awesome post. But in this time, and I just said that's awesome. Like I essentially gave Capreo a +2.
Yeah, you +2'd me and then moved on.
Yeah. But I kept thinking about it. I kept thinking about like this, I don't know, like almost Socratic jumping on point about, I mean, it could have been any Pokemon. It's not specifically that it's Dustox.
I disagree. I don't know that it could have been. I think Dustox is the perfect Pokemon for what this is and what this has become. Dustox is perfect.
It is perfect. I guess there's like a small handful of Pokemon that it could be. Like,
sure.
It could be like Lunatone. It could be like Lunatone or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. Dustox has a certain je ne sais quoi.
Okay, sure. It's got the je ne sais quoi. Sure thing. I thought about it. And it is okay, so it is perfect. Dustox is perfect into this wave. And I kept coming back to it. Like I kept going back to that post and just laughing. I loved it. I thought and maybe I was imagining this, but there's such an earnestness conveyed by the ellipses. Like this is like the mind of a philosopher considering this Pokemon Dustox. Is it any good? And I kept thinking. And about 4 hours later, I came back and I said, I'm going to tweet that. I keep coming back to this and laughing hysterically. It's just so funny. Dustox. Is it any good?
And I was stoked that you were stoked about it. I said, hell yeah. Is it?
I said, is it any good?
Is it?
Dustox.
Is it any good?
Is it?
Could it be?
Dustox. And we went on like that for quite a little while.
For sure.
And talked about some other stuff. But I did make a post and I pretty much just like, this is like one of the last things I tweeted before I deleted my Twitter. But I think for me, I just like posted the picture of Dustox. I did not post a picture of the post.
Right.
This bears mentioning. It's just a picture of Dustox. I said, is it any good? Like, I'm the one posing the question.
Right.
And I also got a lot of replies. I think, like, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a way to fact check this, but it was like I didn't have a large account or anything, but I want to say it was like something to the tune of like 15, 20 replies that were like all weigh-ins on this Pokemon.
Right.
And I was even more fascinated at this point because presumably in Origin, and I think this is how r/Pokemon Emerald works, you can critique me on this if need be, but like I assume that this was like maybe someone's like, I don't know, a dad in stature contemplating an early route Pokemon, and like is Dustox strong? Like good could be a synonym for strong in this question.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that was probably their intent, was wondering, asking the professionals in the r/Pokemon Emerald subreddit, you know, hey, this Pokemon, would you recommend me using it in a playthrough of this game to roll credits? That I think is like the extent, right? Is this Pokemon gonna like help me beat Wallace and then let me roll credits?
Yeah. What have you. Is it strong?
Right.
Was the meaning of good there. But when I posted this, one of the first replies I got was like, yes, it's cute. And okay, I mean that's completely fair. I asked if it's any good. And at the same time, I don't remember who this was, but I got like a very specific comment also that was like, no, its base stats are terrible. It has no access to bug stab, and Silver Wind is a terrible move in Gen 3. Like something like that. Like not to totally villainize someone, but like I got a very complicated answer about why it is not strong also. And I was just memeing to begin with, but this again, this made me think even harder. I started really, really thinking about Pokemon and just what makes a Pokemon good. I got the whole rogues gallery of comments on what makes a Pokemon good, and I'm gonna real quick, because that's the meaning of Dustox now that we've unfolded it, and I'm gonna like throw a quick flashbang at you, real fast. Your fast 5. What makes a Pokemon good?
I think a mixture of things makes a Pokemon good. You're
give it to me.
So your own personal preference, your own tastes influence whether or not you view a Pokemon as good, which is purely subjective, right? Although there are Pokemon that are more popular than others, right? So that must mean that perhaps their design is just a stronger design that like speaks to more people than not, right? And then also, to the person who replied to you and said no, Dustox is not strong because of its base stats, moves, etc. Like, I think the strength or perhaps like viability of a Pokemon can sort of determine whether or not, like, and not even necessarily in a competitive setting. If you had a good experience using a Pokemon in a playthrough, I think you're more likely to have an affinity for it versus like I tend to stray away from using slower Pokemon in playthroughs just because I prefer to move first when I'm playing through a Pokemon game. So slower, I don't often gravitate towards slower Pokemon in a playthrough, right? But I love Snorlax. Snorlax is one of my favorites for sure. Snorlax is absolutely any good, but it's and I've used it in playthroughs, but it's slow, and so there are exceptions, and they're based on like other qualities. Like Snorlax, other than like besides being slow, it's very strong, and it's one of the best and also simplest designs ever. I don't know. Fight me. Snorlax is awesome. I love Snorlax. Anyway, you said 5? I have to come up with 5 things?
No, sorry, it's just a saying, but like I just like quickly, I feel like you're intellectualizing a little bit.
Okay,
just
sorry.
you, what makes a Pokemon good?
I think if I think it's cute, and also if I've had a positive experience using it in a playthrough before. Those two things. Those two things often lead to, or if I've had like a specific experience with a Pokemon before, I think.
Okay. Sure, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. But like initially, like when you're a kid, Droomish, when you're a kid, what's your favorite Pokemon when you're a kid?
I mean, you mean me?
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay. I mean, it was probably Deoxys, and
from the beginning.
I think so. Okay, well, one of my just first experiences like with the media at large was the Deoxys set. Like the myth, like for whatever reason, like at the end of like a generation, because there was just like in Diamond and Pearl, there was a set that was just called Arceus, and that was cool. But it was just Arceus. Like they didn't do like, I don't know, like complicated, fancy sounding name. It's just like Pokemon, and like there is a lot of like badassery in that. Like it's just Arceus. This is just Arceus. And I think it was the same way for Deoxys. It might have been called EX Deoxys, but there were a lot of sets at the time, like Fire Red Leaf Green EX was one. I'm trying to remember another one. Oh, Crystal Guardians EX. That was another one that I remember fondly. This one was just called Deoxys. And I thought Deoxys was super cool. And my reasoning for still liking Deoxys, I like Deoxys very much now, has changed. I have a very different reason for why I like Deoxys now. Those who know. And I think I just thought it was cool because it was on a card, it was on the box, they made it look like a badass. Deoxys just had I think, I mean, in specifically the attack form, because I don't really like the attack form anymore, but the attack form is like both menacing and sleek, and just kind of an intimidation factor there, but also that guy's cool.
Okay. And so that spoke to young Droomish.
Yeah.
And it was based on like its design.
I think its card certainly wasn't bad either. So I think there's like almost subtractive elements to this question also, because for instance, there were a lot of bug type Pokemon in Gen 3 that I was fond of and excited to learn more about. And then I discovered that they could do nothing because they were a bug type in Gen 3. Like they could do nothing like game wise.
Right.
And not that they had to be like, not that any of my Pokemon had to be like competitive sluggers, like win the battle tower super, super easily. But like,
sure, but
I don't know.
Fire
like,
types get flamethrower. Electric types get thunderbolt. Bug types get string shot. What?
Yeah. Silverwind is a tougher move in those generations.
I do really like Silverwind, but yeah, power-wise, 60 is a lot lower than 95. And
it's hard to get.
It's on like very few bug types even. I think a lot of bug types in Gen 3, like their best option is hidden power bug.
Ooh. And so I mean, I guess this is specifically a point away from these Pokemon, but it's not because they can't do anything like unbelievable. They don't have to do anything believable. I think a really good example of this, and something that I've really come around to now, and I don't think it's like a non like valid answer or anything, is Mawile. Like Mawile, historically, not even like bad, but like where's the Mawile-ness of it?
Right. It's like obscure. It's also specific to Ruby, so you would have needed Ruby in order to get one, right?
I don't think it has. I mean, and it's a steel type, and I don't think it has any steel moves. That was the main qualm that I have with it. Like, I think it gets iron defense.
Yeah.
there was no big like blaster steel move the way there is now. You know, they really did some work in Gen 4, like giving every type a cool move.
I agree.
Just really, really big. But I do remember thinking, like, it was like a curvature of like that generation for me of like, oh, Mawile, on color scheme alone, I have deemed Mawile good. And then the gameplay wasn't like, it wasn't even average. I was like, this is just frustrating. I don't even understand this Pokemon. It just like gets bite.
Yeah. Fake
tackle.
Fake
What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, so that's your favorite thing, like something that is good, like not being able to perform. This definitely hurts. This hurts, especially if you're just. I think the more broad you are with it, like the more like holistic of I'm just having fun with my favorite Pokemon. Your favorite Pokemon can't do anything. That's a big bummer.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, one of my first favorites was Flareon, and then came to learn that like of the evolutions, probably one of the worst. So that was like a, but like I don't know, I was also blissfully ignorant when I was a kid and I was first playing the games, and I had no idea how natures and EVs and all this shit worked. I was really just looking at like attack power and like whether or not a move did damage was like the primary focus. And then I was using the guys that I thought looked cool with the moves that I thought were the coolest for them. So I was still using Flareon with Flamethrower, right? It's just, I don't know. Then I got older, unfortunately, and also unfortunately, like allowed this like lack of viability for Flareon to affect my opinion of it, unfortunately, which sucks. And now I've since like no, I think Flareon is maybe tied with Umbreon for me right now for my favorite evolution, but still, like Flareon as a design, I would love to have a Flareon as like a pet. You know what I mean? Like I think Flareon's awesome.
Flareon as a pet could be big.
Like so, I would deem Flareon any good.
Flareon isn't any good.
Yes,
I guess it is.
Yes, but jury's out on Dustox.
We're still trying to decide. We don't know. Okay, when do you feel like that happened for you? I'm gonna use Flareon as like the test subject. When and how did that happen?
Of like, when did I start to like lose that affinity for Flareon? Is that what you mean?
How did it come back to you? You said Flareon's cool now. What did Flareon do right that you didn't understand when you were little?
Well, I think first I would have to go to like I started learning more about these like extra mechanics in the games, again, natures, EVs, IVs, all that stuff, right? I started to learn about that around Gen 5, and then definitely into Gen 6, I was like playing like Smogon OU singles, and also like IV breeding in X and Y. That was like really the only generation that I like had tried competitive Pokemon and really like bought into it and started learning more about it. And so I think then some of my favorites at the time started to become Pokemon that were good. Greninja, for instance, I think was like Froakie when X and Y were like revealed and they showed the 3 starters. Froakie was like my favorite of the 3, and then by the time they showed what they would each evolve into, and I saw Greninja, and then also Greninja was in Smash, it was just like all around I was like I felt so vindicated, because like I think more or less everyone, when the X and Y starters were revealed, opted for Fennekin for the most part. Fennekin was like the darling of the trio at the time.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah,
I think.
And then I think
I was Chespin from day one.
Nice,
but I remember that.
Okay, but then did you
mixed bag? I guess.
Well, I feel like once people started to see what all of those Pokemon started to evolve into, the favors started to shift, which happens from time to time, from generation to generation. Anyway, so yeah, but this was around a time when I was like, I think I was at a point with my experience with the series where, again, I was like getting more into competitive, and then like Pokemon that were good, Pokemon that were strong, Pokemon that were viable competitively were starting to become more my favorites. And then like now I have a soft spot for No Guard Dynamic Punch Machamp. But the stipulation with that, like the qualifiers in front of Machamp now, you know what I mean? I don't have a affinity for Machamp, any old Machamp, whatever.
Yeah, it can't be normal.
But specifically like No Guard, Dynamic Punch, Bullet Punch, Ice Punch, a fourth move, but at least those three. That and like Assault Vest Machamp. That was my Machamp. I used it all the time. It was awesome. So I have like an affinity for like a Pokemon and also like a set of moves that it had at the time. So now fast forward to more recent years. I played through Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness for the first time, just like last year. And you get an Eevee at the beginning of that game. And then very early on, within the first like hour of that game, you get to evolve that Eevee into one of the 5 evolutions available to you as of Generation 3. And I was looking at it and I was like, damn, I think I'm going to go Flareon. I think I miss, it's like part of my childhood was like loving Flareon. It was like one of my it was my favorite Pokemon for a time, and now it's one of my favorite evolutions. But I don't know. I think like the opposite has happened, where now I understand the mechanics of the game, and in spite of that, I'm still going to use Pokemon that are maybe going to be less effective, but I'm going to use them in spite of that. And that makes me feel even more strongly about them, I guess. Maybe in an effort to try to prove that they can succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's vindicating almost in a way.
Right. Like
that's cool.
I was told at a point, or I learned or whatever, that maybe Flareon isn't the best. And now that I know I know better how the game functions, maybe I can pilot Flareon in such a way that it can still succeed.
Wow. You have grown.
I've grown.
Into a more Flareon amenable person, and you can live out your true self.
And so
that's beautiful.
Yeah. And anyway, that's probably more than you bargained for, but
no, that's exactly what I wanted.
Sweet.
I want to give you mine.
Yeah, please.
I think trying to hone in on specifically what it was when I was little. I mean, there was anything that was sleek would be in contention, like Deoxys Attack, for instance. I think that Articuno looked pretty sleek. It looks aerodynamic, so to speak. Crobat, that was a big one for me. That guy ran all over my leaf green team. But then also I had a lot of cards that were to this effect. Anything that was cute that had a really good color scheme. Like I think of good color scheme for me. Yeah, I'm demonstrative of what's good now, actually. So it is just good. I specifically remember I had cards, and they were like of the original Sugimori renders of Hoppip, Jumpluff, I mean, kind of the same thing, and then Mareep. And these colors go great together, and there's a real softness in this portrayal. They are sweet, kind, fairy creatures, and they look like they would be nice to me, and I feel like being nice to them. I see this, and I want to be kind. I don't know, the same thing of like, and some would call this cuteness aggression, but I see like a cat and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to squeeze you until I can't squeeze you anymore. And just a feeling I have that I'm very good at controlling every now and then. But that's just like automatic almost for and you can draw a picture well enough and the same thing occurs. feel this way about these Pokemon. They're cute. They're sweet. Come give me a hug. That is kind eyes. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, I also did eventually start learning about what was good and what makes something strong. There weren't a huge amount of opportunities in first few games to, like, make the most out of a statistically bad Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. But that was where, and I think, like, I'm glad I have this other perspective to bring up because you didn't mention it at all, was the cards. And there was, and it seemingly always, an attempt in the cards to, like, let's power up maybe untraditional Pokemon. Obviously, there's going to be a Charizard.
Mm-hmm.
However, even though it might be, like, subpar in some cases, like a card that I got recently that I feel like would have made me a huge fan of it when I was little, I got a Lapras EX from, lowercase EX from Gen 3.
Hell yeah.
It has a really, like, intense art. A lot of these cards, a lot of these EXs from these sets have very intense art, but it's Lapras.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I don't know, like, what is his name from Mario 64? Like, Lammy or something? I don't know, it looks like that. The big, the Loch Ness monster, like Locky or Lachi or... It's just a big blue dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing crazy about it. It's like, oh, it's like, but it's got, in like, not in the new way, but it's a like biblical aura. There's like an aura radiating from this Pokemon. Yeah, the classical meaning of the word.
Mm-hmm.
But it has like an intense blue radiation coming off of it, and it doesn't like necessarily look violent, but it's like, I don't know, maybe like intense. Intense is probably the best word. And this was a style that they used for those Pokemon, and I came to be fond of a lot of these Pokemon and a lot of these cards. You get a card, something physical like a card, and if it obtains special meaning to you, and I think it's so much easier because it's a physical possession. You can play with it. You can put it in your binder. You can show it to your friends. Like, that's gonna make a Pokemon good. I am one of the Meganium Chikorita soldiers for this reason. I had those cards. I have my Delta species Meganium that I enjoy so much, and it's made me think that Pokemon is good. And it is good, because this is my what is good corner. It's good, folks. You can't say anything bad about them. But I think now, and so ultimately the change, because I want to highlight that too, like the change I was adult. I also like that very much. As like, oh, can we make the bad Pokemon good? That's fun. I like that. But I feel like at a certain point, I almost naturally, like, kind of like digested that feeling into, because it's not like the absolute thing that I want to do. And maybe this is just my, like, shifting taste, but like something that I think is the most good a Pokemon can be is the absurd. Like, of course, it can't be ugly as sin. Like, there are a handful of Pokemon that I do think are ugly as sin, but like something akin to, I'm trying to think of a good one. Hydrapple is probably a great example, or Chaladon. And I think these are like fine also, statistically, which is helpful to this. It's just nonsense. I was trying to explain Archaladon to a friend the other day. There's like a poster with a bunch of Pokemon on it, some picture of a bunch of them, and I was like, that one, Archaladon. He said, what is that? What are you talking about? The bridge dragon? Are you looking at the bridge dragon? He said, oh, the bridge dragon. Yes, that makes more sense. It's a dragon that's a bridge. You're absolutely right. He was like, okay, good. We're on the same page. That's ridiculous. That's, I guess, in my opinion, like the power of Pokemon. I think, to me, to population of one Droomish town, that is the intrinsic goodness of Pokemon, is the absurdity, the novelty. I am so endeared by a thing that looks cute. There's the reason Azumarill is my favorite. I think Azumarill is the goodest Pokemon now and forever. It looks just like a cute, almost Looney Tunes-ish mouse, I mean, and then you see it in like certain media, and it's waving its tail around like a mace, like smacking people, and it has huge power, and it's supposed to hit like a truck, like it's actually like an angry, raging demon, but it's like a smiley bunny rabbit with polka dots on it. And I think this is the power of Pokemon at its heart, or maybe one of its core powers that makes it good. Yeah, I think that's my fast five, if you will, on what makes a Pokemon good. I'm very attracted to these novel picks these days.
And there's a lot of discourse, I think, like about like particularly about object Pokemon, right? Like
great pick, great call.
Because you mentioned Archaludon, and like Archaludon, I think like when Archaludon is like standing, it doesn't necessarily like depict a bridge, but certainly like when it uses what is it, Electroshot? It's like its signature move or something. It Optimus Prime transforms into bridge.
Yeah.
To use that move, and then it goes back up to bridge. like standing dragon, and like even Duraludon before Archaludon, like face value, you look at it and you're like, I guess it's sort of a building, and then it Gigantamaxes, and then you're like, no, that's a whole skyscraper. But yeah, they're like object Pokemon are such a genre, like design wise. Like there are a whole bunch of like real world animal analogs for a whole bunch of Pokemon, but then there are also real world objects. So like Magnemite, that's magnets. Execute, that's eggs. You know, and often the Gen 1 objects are so often compared to like the Gen 5 objects, right? Your Trubbish and your Vanillite, being a trash bag and an ice cream cone. And I don't know, man, none of them are like bad. You know, I think like people just have their favorites, and because you can knock any of them for just being an object, right? Because they all are that, but like
Pikachu's just an animal.
Well, that's animal. And so that's the same thing, right? Like like Meowth is a cat.
That's the rub.
Ekans is a snake, you know, but like Seviper is also a snake, and Silly Cobra is also a snake. They're all snakes, right? So yeah,
which one is good?
They're all good.
Which one is good? Whoa, they're all good? Even Pikachu?
Even Pikachu is, I mean, Pikachu, come on. It's Pikachu, of course.
Okay. Sure.
Unless you disagree. Do you disagree? Do you think Pikachu...
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to pick this argument. I'm going to pick my battles.
But this is the other thing, is like, is Pikachu like not good because it's like the mascot? Because it's popular?
I think that... Okay. Actually, good question out of nothing. Because I have ranted and raved about this before. I do think because it is a visual stimuli, it for me, it is a negative point to be assaulted by the same Pokemon. It was Charizard for a while, and I guess maybe resentment is the best word, just of seeing the same hero over and over, when I know there are 1,000 Pokemon, and there's this one that just keeps getting the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, because Pikachu is not evolved and kind of had to carry its weight like in the game to do very complicated things involving the light ball, it never got bad for me. But and that really, Charizard has many of its own problems, but strong enough to just be assaulting. And in Gen 7, 8, borderline into 9, it was an assault of Charizard. And I look at Charizard and I think it's a fine design. It's simple. It is classical. I think I would tweak the color scheme slightly, but there's really no huge points against Charizard. However, because this is a visual sport in some capacity, no matter how you play the game, this is a visual sport, right? Like, and calling it like a sport in quotes, but it's like there's this is something that you have to look at. These are characters. I know that that's Charizard because it is an orange dragon with the blue wings and I don't know, like the triangle-y shaped head.
Mm-hmm.
That's Charizard because Charizard's the way that it is. So Charizard being plastered on everything, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of not seeing. It could be anything. God forbid it could be a Azumarill. Like it could be any of these little freaks, but they ran it into the ground. And I think, unfortunately, it's Umbreon now. I'm very quickly growing sick of Umbreon because Umbreon is the new money Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how that came to be. I mean, it is just classically cool. I think we're in like a cool era versus like Charizard's kind of I don't know if I want to go as far as saying masculine, but like draconic. The draconic foreboding strength. It's classically strong looking. It breathes fire and is a dragon.
Right.
This is perfect for young boys. Now we've got Umbreon, who is a little bit cooler,
right.
and maybe the demographic growing, but I am getting sick of it because Umbreon is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Umbreon is every chase card in the card game.
Mm-hmm. And
Umbreon is the cool Pokemon.
All of the evolutions are everywhere, but somehow Umbreon in particular stands above all of them. Somehow.
I don't know how. Right, that part of it is the enigma. That's really interesting. Like that should be studied. We should study that specifically, the phenomenon of Umbreon, because it was already like with the evolutions, not bad, but the evolutions continue to be like pretty easy money baiting, I guess, or they're flagship. We'll call them flagship.
Extremely marketable.
And they are good. Mm-hmm. They are good. I think I would borderline call them objectively good. I know that's crazy to say, but the evolutions, their simplicity of design with the workable color scheme and concept is just, maybe as a unit, there's one here for everyone, and that's the perfection of Eevee.
Right. It's like the idea of Pokemon, only instead of there being over 1,000 options, there's 9. And so you just pick your favorite of the 9.
That's such a great way to describe Eevee. Like, Eevee is a Pokemon of Pokemon. Mm-hmm. It is good for that reason.
Do you have a favorite evolution?
I think,
since we're on the subject,
I don't know. Let's just say Sylveon. I'll give it to Sylveon.
Right on.
Pretty easy these days. Jolteon in a close second.
Okay.
Sylveon's usage of pink has really, really gotten me in my 20-something. So, what about you?
I like Umbreon in like recent years, and then like Flareon has made a comeback. So now I would say they're like tied. But
okay,
yeah,
I'm into that.
But like again, none of them are bad. All of them are any good.
Any good? Wow, any good.
This episode of Petalburg Woods is brought to you by the Devon Corporation. Everyone has a favorite Pokemon. Bug catchers love Wurmple, fishing freaks fancy Feebas, and Pokemaniacs adore their special little guys. So don't you want to catch as many of your favorites as you can? Well, the brilliant minds at the Devon Corporation are proud to announce the all-new Repeat Ball, a Pokeball designed to make capturing Pokemon that you've already caught even easier, 3 times as likely, in fact, to catch. So start amassing a collection of your favorites today with the help of the Repeat Ball. Only 1,000 Pokédollars at the Rustboro Pokemart. Use code Petalburg to save 10% off your purchase. Devon Corporation, for all your living needs, we make it all. Thanks again to the Devon Corporation for sponsoring today's episode. Now, back to the show.
You're really amenable to these Pokemon. We gotta find one that's bad.
Well, I don't have... I have one Pokemon that I do genuinely hate.
Great. They're not good. Give it to me.
It's Bruxish.
Okay. Classic. But please.
I I don't know what they were thinking. Like, I like, or at least am indifferent towards, like, of the 1,025, probably 1,020 of them, right? But I couldn't tell you what James Turner, the designer of Bruxish, was thinking, let alone the rest of the people involved in allowing Bruxish to exist. I don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know why we needed another fish. There's so many fish. Like,
there are a lot of fish.
I hated Basculin for the longest time. You know what kind of saved Basculin for me, actually? Was Basculegion. I don't mind.
Basculegion.
Yeah.
Basculegion came back in a major way.
Basculegion's sick as hell, so maybe there's a chance that, I don't know, Bruxish gets a form or an evolution or something, but just like, Bruxish, like, its design, it's like, it's like, not inspiration, but like it's like, dude, a fish based, a Bruxism, I can't even pronounce the word, Bruxism fish? Why? Why? What do you mean? No, there's so many other ideas. They had not made a dolphin yet, but they made Bruxish. We have Finizen and Palafin now, and they're great. But
yeah, they did a good job on their dolphin. They're finally making a dolphin.
You're telling me that they signed off on Bruxish before they ever made a dolphin? Anyway, so Bruxish is my main, like, I hate it, actually. Genuinely, I hate it.
Well, I can't even say that you're wrong, but I have really come into favor with Bruxish recently just because it's silly. For that same reason that you gave. Doesn't make any sense. This shouldn't exist. And it is glorious to me.
Well, you had said, reason. You had said earlier that, like, if the design is bad, then its absurdity does not, like, save it. So you don't think that its design is, like, unfathomably, irrevocably
I don't, because I almost see it just as probably not just you. I'm sure we'll write in, folks. Are you one of the 99% of people who hates Bruxish? Please let us know.
That's the thing. I feel like it's a cold take to say that Bruxish is bad. I feel like I'm in the majority, in fact. But anyway, sorry, you were saying about Bruxish and how you like it.
Maybe I'm outing myself here a little bit, but It has Wario-like charm to me.
What do you mean? What are you doing? Don't keep my onion smelling, money grubby hunk of a man as far away from Bruxish. What are you talking about?
I think they would be friends.
No.
I see the same kind of, like, I don't know, like, because it's sure, it's a little ugly. But Wario's a little ugly, and Wario thinks he looks good. Wario thinks he looks good. I'm just like, that's kind of Wario's thing. I mean, the first, like, I got on WarioWare the other day, and the first scene is him watching TV, looking disgusting while he's picking his nose, but he thinks he's awesome. Yeah. And there's kind of
and he's right.
It's kind of an irresistible charm to that of just, I don't know. I like confidence,
but I don't think Bruxish has that.
We're like in the depths of visual interpretation, but that smile that Bruxish has, it's the smile. That's where I see the Wario of, like, I know you like me. Like,
I'm all that. I'm Bruxish, and I'm your fucking favorite now.
That's what Bruxish says to me, and I do grapple with it. It's the colors. I do like that pink. I will say, like, what's called a fuchsia. I like that fuchsia.
Sure.
On Bruxish, at the very least, but the confidence in its toothy smile is so strange to me, and I can't. I'm not saying I love it. I'm not saying it's one of my favorites. But it's like, okay.
But you don't hate it the way that I hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it because it's just, like, you think you look good? Okay.
All right.
You kind of got me to agree with you. I guess beauty isn't skin deep.
It's teeth deep.
It's as deep as your beautiful smile. I like to call it a
Mm.
beautiful smile. And I have found, Brooke. I mean, it's okay, but I have found in playing on ladder on Smoga. This is my not so subtle segue because I feel like we didn't touch one of the sectors here.
Mhm.
Of I enjoy getting Bruxish on a team when I'm playing random battles because it tends to hit like a truck, and I did not know that about Bruxish. And now that I've actually tried using it, I'm like, this is a choice band Pokemon. That's kind of awesome. This is a psychic water type that like can use choice band, and it just goes to the cleaners. How fun! Not that that's what you have to do, but I was pleasantly surprised, and so I found something. I think kind of the opposite in a weird way. Something that doesn't happen to me very often because I am very concerned with aesthetics. Of like, I found a game piece that I was not expecting to enjoy as much as I did, and that became a type of novelty in and of itself. Of you're ugly. I expected you to be bad. How crazy is this? You just knocked out my biggest foe. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Maybe you are not ugly as sin. You actually have the brimming charisma of Wario or a character similar.
What does it mean? What does it mean that if we see a design that maybe we don't, I don't know. I don't like it's hard to say that like a design is objectively ugly, but I don't know. Maybe a design. I'm also thinking of like barbarical. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
he didn't do anything to you, but okay.
But what does it mean when we see a design that we don't vibe with, at least, and then that like implies how we think the Pokemon is going to perform in battle? Like, this Pokemon doesn't look very good, so it must also be weak. What does that mean?
I've got a high opinion of myself. I don't know.
No, but I'm with you. Like, I would also, like, you know, even just for like meek looking Pokemon, like, I don't know, like,
well, that's different, kind of. I appreciate that distinction though, because a Pokemon could look weak. The little wishy-washy looks weak on purpose.
Right.
It's probably the weak looking Pokemon.
Right. Or like there's another one in Gen's Wimpod. I mean, that's built into the name, right?
It's called Wimpod.
Yeah, it's called Wimpod. Yeah. But I like that Pokemon. And Golisopod goes crazy. Yeah. Well, there's a lot. Are there other aspects that you think?
So I'm like getting there with this, and I feel like I might have like mentioned part of this last time we were talking with Awood. Just heard I was watching Fantano, who has, and I'm his takes are growing on me as annoying he can be.
Okay.
He's great. He's fine. He's fine. He's much like Bruxish in some ways. But
okay.
Positively speaking, but I was watching because I'm also fascinated with Jane Remover right now, and he asked them what their favorite Pokemon was, and they kind of just said like on vibes is like, oh, like Metagross, Piplup. I like those Pokemon. I was like, hey, that's an awesome answer. Metagross is cool. I thought the exact same thing, and he replied to them. Because they said, what's yours? They asked him response. He said his favorite was Iron Hands in this moment. And I was aghast that he said Iron Hands as his favorite Pokemon.
There's no sweet way that like a 30-something man like who probably played like the original games. There's no sweet way that person's favorite Pokemon is Iron Hands based on like the life that they've led. Right? Like,
so this is a real indictment of him, but yes, I agree with you. And then the reasoning, I mean it was fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but he described in pretty explicit detail of how Iron Hands is tearing it up in VG in competitive at the time, and that it was, and then he said another Pokemon that was doing really well out of Journey Together. Like I think he might have said Dragapult. It was just something that was good in the card game, something that was meta. These were things that were meta, and for that reason, he enjoyed them. And I've seen this in fighting games too, where I feel like there was a Smash player that I really liked at a time whose favorite Pokemon, or not the favorite Pokemon, they loved Zero Suit Samus just because she's good. And they didn't love Metroid or anything. It was just, oh, like, they're good, and that makes them awesome. Which almost, in a way, wraps around to being wholesome to me. Like, I can see it. Because
like it's a different kind of like purity or like earnestness.
Almost, yeah. Because in this moment, and I feel like the funny thing that ended up happening was I told multiple friends I was like watching this Fantano jackass, and he said his favorite Pokemon was Iron Hands. And everybody that I told that to was like, actually, you're the jackass, and Iron Hands is awesome. I was like, whoa, Iron Hands is not awesome. What are you talking about?
My, how the turntables.
Yeah, they said I was being the jackass, which I could not believe, because I don't know, do you see anything in Iron Hands?
I like Hariyama.
That's not Iron Hands.
I know,
need to answer
like,
the question.
Well, but like, it's like, I don't know, it's Hariyama adjacent, right?
Okay. Oh, man. Okay, well, that's another interesting component of this. I mean, Pokemon is vast enough, and they do this themselves, where another Pokemon can inform the affection of another. Because you're right, I like Toedscruel for that reason. I think Toedscruel is really cool, unlike Tentacruel, who is really cruel. But
but I feel the inverse. I really like Donphan. I don't like Iron Treads very much. So, I don't know. And same thing I think with like Wug Trio. I don't really care for Wiglet or Wug Trio. I gotta be honest. So there's some remixed designs that like don't land for me. I think but like Iron Hands, I don't know. I feel like I had mentioned in like the Emerald versus Oris episode that we did, how I feel like Oris is a side grade to Emerald. I feel like Iron Hands is a side grade to Hariyama.
Well, honestly, after my friends berated me about it, I like stared deeply at pictures of Iron Hands, and I think Iron Hands is cool. I came around.
You made a whole video about Iron Hands specifically a while ago.
Yeah, but I think that the purity, it was that purity that you're mentioning, it clicked for me. It wrapped all the way around of just, this is awesome. Why am I fighting it? It's a robot sumo wrestler superhero guy, and they win big.
They do go crazy. I do like for each of the future Paradox Pokemon, when they go to sleep, each of them powers down. And so there's an element of like, if you just look at like the Pokemon's key art, that might not do it for you. But then once you like actually see the Pokemon in action, and then you learn a little bit more about like how they live in the world, and that can sort of inform how you feel about it. Like, you know, you might not like something that comes to mind is you don't often see Ralts's eyes, for instance, right? Because Ralts has that like bowl cut that kind of covers its eyes. Yeah. But some like there are like cards, for instance. I think more often than anything, there will be trading cards that will depict Ralts, and you'll be able to see its eyes a little bit. And that to me makes Ralts a little bit more endearing, maybe because like seeing its eyes is like rare, or I don't know, but it's again just something, just like a way that you wouldn't ordinarily see a Pokemon that can then make it a bit more endearing.
Yeah, the cards, I think that is the original medium for this. I mean, I suppose the anime too. I guess I don't know exactly which came first, but there's this is probably another sector as well of you don't have to play the game. You don't have to be a freak like us to have a favorite Pokemon. Obviously, the TV show's fine. The card game is fine. The whatever is fine. One of my
Pokemon
earliest exposures to it was, I think this was. I mean, I've credited this as like a fascination with the world itself, but specifically the red chapter of Adventures and the yellow chapter of the Adventures, this is the manga, was so shaping for me. And I remember thinking specifically, so Yellow, interestingly enough, they had their own OC for the game Yellow, and they're like this younger than Red character, wears a sun hat and kind of looks almost they wear a feather in their cap, a little squiry in a way. And they have, by traditional standards, by the ultra traditional standards of the game, especially in Yellow, they have a poo bad team. Like it's not like Doduo. They were using not Ash. They're using Red's Pikachu. That doesn't exactly count. Doduo, Caterpie, Rattata, and then they eventually get loners of, I think, Graveler and Ammonite from Brock and Misty.
Okay.
This is not ideal for saving the world, which is what they are tasked with doing.
Right.
But I remember thinking such new things. I don't know how to say it. There's just new appreciation, and it was only possible through a storytelling medium rather than the games are a storytelling medium, but I guess it's heavy narrative focus of getting to see Yellow, command them to do interesting things. And there's pretty early in Yellow's thing, Yellow and Bill are on the back of Doduo while Lorelei is chasing them with it's very almost, it's not like human violent, but like a very violent physically scene. The cloister is like shooting the spike cannons, and it's just kind of brutal. And they're running on the back of their duo. This is kind of awesome. Their duo is kind of cool. Actually, this is fun. They're just barely keeping up. They're just barely getting away from Cloister. Oh my gosh, their duo is awesome. And Yellow's whole thing was like communing with Pokemon, so they get their friends to do very unique things. They would have to fight in very untraditional, sometimes avoid fighting altogether. That's like a big point of contention. But Yellow was a big pacifist, so they'd have to get them to behave in very unique ways. And that ended up being a vehicle for seeing a different side of those Pokemon. And while I don't love Doduo, like I don't have a huge thing for Doduo, there's like a specific rendering almost of Doduo that comes from that manga. So I know it as like Yellow's Doduo and Yellow's Dodrio, but that just makes it, I think it just brings all the memories back. I would say that it's, I like it when it looks this specific way. But I think it's almost evocative of the memories that adventure came with. Like seeing that render of Doduo, seeing Yellow's Doduo, who's named Dodie, seeing Dodie makes all those memories come back to me. And then for that moment, I say, "Oh, Doduo, you're awesome! You're an awesome Pokemon. You are any good. This is confirmed." So these. I'm looking for the right word here. It's not proactive, but these maybe like additive storytelling structures are another completely viable vehicle for finding a good one. And
absolutely,
actually, and I'll throw one in too. I think it's just as viable for being bad. A Pokemon that pisses me off to no end, and I still I have trouble with, because it visually strikes a certain image for me, is Entei. I hate Entei because of that damn movie. Entei is a bastard in that movie. It's not even Entei, but Entei, I know that it's complicated nonsense with that girl dreaming stuff up, and it's really Unknown. Unknown are also little assholes, but Entei is so, up until the very end, he is so obstinate. He is so borderline uncaring about everything, and is just a little a little nuisance for the rules, it gets under my skin. I see Entei from this is from a medium completely void of interaction. I see Entei and I say, asshole. You were so mean and bad in that movie. I don't even want to look at you. I don't want to click Sacred Fire. I want to click Run. I'm sick of your nonsense. I'm so sick of dealing with Entei. So these are just as viable means of, maybe even stronger, of crafting goodness or badness through stories with the characters.
I think someone who's seen the third movie, who maybe had an opposite reaction to Entei.
Oh, like you? You want to talk about it?
No, but someone else who maybe had an opposite positive reaction to Daddy Entei might now have an affinity for Entei. So, all I'm saying, okay, all I'm saying.
Do you like, you big Entei head?
No, I'm not personally. I think Suikun's probably my favorite of that trio. You know, like someone else could have seen that third movie, and now because of that movie become a fan of Entei. They could have read Adventures, and maybe not even like batted an eyelash at Doduo. You know what I mean? It's still just like
I see
the thing that you're describing. Like it still has to like the narrative of it or whatever. I guess still has to like speak to you in the same way that like the design of a Pokemon still has to speak to you. On a personal, subjective level. Have you had any other like specific experiences, as far as, not to put you on the spot, but have you had any other like specific experiences with any Pokemon that like have since made you a fan of that Pokemon?
Like that I originally did not like?
Or at least you were just like indifferent towards, and then something happened and now you enjoy that Pokemon?
Are you thinking of something specifically? Do you remember something happening to me?
No, I mean other than Dustox, really.
Other than Dustox,
we can circle back to Dustox, but I guess before we do, I'm just wondering if there's anything else. If there's been anything else.
Yeah, I think more recently, having run streams and making videos, especially, and it's not exclusive to that, but something that I really leaned into was, it is just play at a certain point, but also running these stories with certain Pokemon. Melodic is a really big one of those, and also Spoink and Grumpig are two that, we kind of made our own fun, and what was, especially in Spoink's case, was a joke from a random offhand joke from a friend turned into a really long-lasting legacy and a Pokemon that I'm just enamored with now. And so I think really a base cause is just nickname your Pokemon. I think you're gonna have more fun if you nickname them.
Absolutely.
That was a really big thing for Benjels, the melodic, and I have
Benjels.
Exactly, and then I have Spoink that our friend Kay kind of created like the image of, but now that I love so much. And I think we can kind of imagine goodness sometimes. Those are real stories. I have hours and hours of streams and videos that highlight the time and storytelling that I've done for myself with these characters. It's like playing with dolls, but I think there's a level to it of just saying yes to believing almost. I've always been like pleasantly indifferent towards Grumpig, but one day she just started making fun of it, and I did it with her about Sploink, as it's called, and I can't get enough of it now. It's such a fond memory. The Pokemon is the memory, and now I associate it with that Pokemon. So I think it's super, super up to you, but also you could make maybe any Pokemon your favorite, which I think is the power of it. That's
Yeah, to your point about nicknaming, I think like if you've played through Pokemon games before but you've never bothered to nickname your team, I would like highly recommend it. It's not just like a thing for like Nuzlocke. I think like I like entire playthroughs are so much more vivid because I nicknamed my team, and I feel like so much more attached to the Pokemon that I nicknamed than the ones that I didn't, honestly. Um, but one for me, I guess, is my 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 partner and I went to Build-A-Bear, and she got a Teddiursa, and she decided to name it Stella. And this was after we hadn't been dating for very long, but uh, Stella the Teddiursa is my daughter, and so
Hell yeah.
now I feel, I've like, I think similarly to Grumpig for you, I felt like I've always thought Teddiursa was cute. Don't get me wrong, but like relatively indifferent to it. But now Teddiursa is Stella to me, right? And like as we speak, have a Teddiursa named Stella in my Pokéwalker.
It's that memory. It's
Yeah, and
experiential.
the Pokemon becomes this avatar for like experiences and like stories and people in our lives, and they represent that, and that I think is what makes them any good.
You know, because I think there's kind of almost like a powerful umbrella that can be unfolded from this point. Because, I mean, that makes me think of it. Everything makes me think of it is that my mom has, she's a teacher and she has had kids who are into Pokemon. So she knows some Pokemon and she knows enough to get me decent presents every now and then. Thank you, Mom, if you're listening. Thanks for listening also. She really likes Mewtwo, specifically.
Mm,
She has no interest in Pokemon. She knows enough to help her kids and also to listen to them because they're excited about it. And she knows enough for me to have listened to me because I think she was a pretty good mom. By the first movie, and we talked about the messaging of the first movie after we watched it,
mm-hmm,
really, really struck her. And not that that's like a unique experience by any means. I'm also struck by the first movie, and Mewtwo
mm-hmm,
has a really cool thing to say at the end. It has a really
mm-hmm.
cool arc that he goes on that I think is very sophisticated for the intended audience age for that movie. I think it's great. It's great programming, ultimately. But what I find so fascinating is that you can have a favorite Pokemon easily. Many people, I would assume, have a favorite Pokemon and not really do Pokemon. And
Mm-hmm.
I know maybe this is a far step from is it any good, but the maybe like the window for is any good. I say this to, I guess, demonstrate and ponder just how wide that window is. Like it's almost
Mm-hmm.
special. The question itself, is it any good? Because it is so easy to weigh in on. It is so
Mm-hmm.
not just like something because anybody can like something. I
Mm-hmm.
can walk up to a painting and immediately make an opinion about it. But the walks of life that can call in on Pokemon for whatever reason
Mm-hmm.
is, I don't know, maybe one of the vastest things I know of from my mom, for instance, who effectively doesn't give a damn, but says, I like that Mewtwo guy because he had a really nice message about. I mean, we equated it to, like, I mean, in some ways, because she teaches special ed, and like we
Mm-hmm.
equated Mewtwo's messaging in the movie. He says his famous line is not what you do, or what is the thing that he say? It's like it's not how you were born, but it's what you do with the gift of life that
Yeah.
decides your value effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And she equated that to like a form of disability justice and that Mewtwo is awesome for this reason. Oh, Mewtwo is with it now. That this is like about what we can do in our lifetime rather than what we are saddled with as people.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful stuff. And then I fully expected her to not like Mewtwo also, because Mewtwo's a little weird looking, I guess.
Sure.
He's a little weird. He has like Charizard's head and then like Frieza's body, so
now that you mention it.
He's kind of odd. But she really took to his message. And then then you've got somebody so far, I don't know, I like Iron Hands because he wins tournaments and can be a really good AV pivot in the right circumstances, which is like exact opposite ends of the bell curve. However, I think both of these people would have, I dare say, informed opinion about Mewtwo.
Yeah, there are infinite ways to go about answering the question, is it any good?
So is it? Is it any good?
It's up to you.
I guess it's up to you.
I think Dustox is pretty good. I don't know.
I think it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, I think it's good.
I like Dustox in the show. I like James's Dustox.
I like Dustox because of this. This has been going on for...
Wait, no, I lied. No, Jessie has the Dustox. Oh. I'm a fake fan.
That's okay.
No, right, because May has a Beautifly and Jessie has a Dustox. But there's an incredible episode in like the Generation 3. It's similar. You know how like Ash has Bye Bye Butterfree?
Of course.
In Gen 1. Jessie effectively has like a Bye Bye Dustox episode.
Damn, Bye Bye Dustox. That's sad.
I think, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
I might be misremembering.
It doesn't matter if it's a hallucination. If it made you like Dustox, that's powerful.
Well, it contributes, I think, to my affinity for Dustox. And we before we recorded this, we talked to our friend LRXC about his answer for this question. Is Dustox, is it any good?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he almost has like he's almost both sides of the coin. He would answer like, well, no, in Emerald Battle Factory, absolutely not. It's one of the worst picks you could possibly take. Simultaneously, he has an animated emote of Dustox in his Twitch chat based on a story, based on a character that was created surrounding Dustox. He had an entire Nuzlocke run centered around this Dustox. And now it's forever immortalized in this like dancing animated Dustox emote.
And I feel like it's, I don't know, it almost wraps around on itself of, I like it because it's bad.
Sure. It's like the opposite of like, I dislike it because it's popular.
It's good because it's bad is fascinating. I did find that story really interesting. I mean, it didn't necessarily surprise me about him, but I mean, he essentially said he said both. He said both, and that's that may be indicative of the point, but I don't know. But it is up to you. I guess there's a million ways to, I don't know, even ponder it. But I guess why I spent so much time thinking on this and why we're still talking about it, even though you sent me that post, I think almost 8 months ago to the day, or this is 8 months ago, and I'm still like muttering to myself, Dustox, is it any good?
Is it any good?
Because there's like an infinitesimal amount of ways to answer a question validly and importantly also. Like these are memories, these are stories, these are experiences, these are analyses. Like every possible take that you could have on this, at least I consider like human condition wise, is important. I read through that thread And while I laughed at some of the answers about what people had to say about Dustox, that was the marvel of, like, this is so important. Everyone has a memory with this character. And I kind of think that's the human power with Pokemon. There's, like, a secret. I don't know if it's in the character design or how they're avatars, but just that it is so conducive to being experiential that it's such a human activity. I know that that's maybe I'm way too Pokemon pilled, but there's probably a handful of things like this. But just, you know, these places where we can, I guess, connect with just about anybody in these odd ways are like the most human things. And I think it's part of, not that this specific idea was a founding basis for this podcast, but like this concept and ultimately what I thought about it is kind of that this is at the core of why I like these games, is just it's not necessarily Pokemon, but Pokemon is this unbelievable catalyst for people having experiences and connections.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it's just beautiful. So yeah, Dustox is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. It gave me this story. It gave me this memory. Thank you, Dustox.
Folks, what do you think? Dustox. ... Is it any good? Let us know.
The jury's still out. Please,
jury's out.
Please write in. Because that's all we got for you this time on Petalburg Woods. Join us next time when we discuss what was the last great Pokemon game. A real powder keg of a topic there. Until then,
it's going to be a doozy.
You can find us outside of the forest as well. I'm Droomish on YouTube, and we are both streaming on Twitch at Droomish_ and at Capreo_. Let us know what you thought of the show. Leave us a review. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, all that good YouTube business. And as always, leave your repels at home, and we'll see you next time on Petalburg Woods. Good night, folks. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Petalburg Woods is hosted by Droomish and Capreo and produced by Girl Luigi. The theme music is by Capreo, and additional artwork is by Mo Paint Stuff. Let us know where you'd like to visit in the Pokémon Universe next. Email us at petalburgpod@gmail.com. And until then, leave your super repels at home and come visit us in the